Canada announces 3 major PR changes for 2025. Big changes are coming to Canada's immigration system in 2025. From lower PR targets to a focus on Canadian experience and a shift in job offer rules, these updates could impact your journey to permanent residency. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. In a dramatic turn of events, Canada has introduced 3 sweeping changes that are expected to redefine the permanent residency landscape in 2025. These changes are not just technical adjustments, they could significantly impact students, workers, and applicants currently navigating or planning to enter Canada's immigration system. If you're aiming to settle in Canada, this update is crucial. 1. Reduction in annual PR targets. Previously, Canada announced an ambitious plan to welcome 1.5 million newcomers over 3 years. But in a significant policy revision, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada has lowered its immigration targets. 395,000 PRs in 2025. 380,000 in 2026. 365,000 in 2027. This downward trend marks a stark departure from previous years where targets steadily increased. The implications are clear: competition will intensify, and applicants with lower, comprehensive ranking system scores or without in-demand job profiles may face greater challenges. Although the Liberal government has somewhat cushioned this reduction, a change in political leadership could tighten the numbers further. 2. Canadian experience class gets top priority. A welcome shift for many currently residing in Canada is the enhanced focus on the Canadian experience class. IRCC is now prioritizing applicants who have Canadian education credentials, possess Canadian work experience, are already integrated into Canada's economic and social fabric. This pivot suggests that foreign skilled workers applying from abroad may now be at a comparative disadvantage. Previously, Express Entry welcomed thousands of international professionals based solely on skill and education, even if acquired outside Canada. Now, IRCC prefers individuals who have already adapted to Canadian life, such as international students and temporary workers. If you're in Canada and belong to the CEC category, your chances of receiving PR in 2025 have increased, provided you meet the CRS requirements and apply through the right immigration stream. With over 60+ immigration programs in Canada, applicants must research and choose their pathway wisely, not just rely on Express Entry or provincial nominee programs. 3. LMIA-based job offer points removed. Another major development is the elimination of CRS points for labor market impact assessment-based job offers. Earlier, regular job offers fetched 50 CRS points. High-skill positions could earn up to 200 points. With this system now discontinued, applicants who depended on job offer points to boost their CRS scores are hit the hardest. Their scores will drop, reducing PR chances unless they qualify through other strong factors like age, education, or Canadian experience. However, this change levels the playing field for applicants with strong profiles but no LMIA-based job offers, making the system fairer overall. Canada introduces a bill to lift restrictive citizenship by descent norms, Indian diaspora to benefit, say expert. Canada's Immigration Minister, Lena Mettledge-Diab, on Thursday night introduced legislation that will extend citizenship by descent beyond the first generation. This news has been welcomed by several immigrants, including the Indian diaspora. The Citizenship Act was amended in 2009 to add a first-generation limit to citizenship by descent. This meant that a Canadian citizen parent could pass on citizenship to a child born outside Canada only if the parent was either born in Canada or naturalized before the birth of this child. However, as a result of the first-generation limit, Canadian citizens who were born outside Canada could not in turn pass on citizenship to their child if the child was also born outside Canada. Nor could they apply for a direct grant of citizenship for a child adopted from outside Canada. The first-generation limit can be illustrated. Mrs. A was born in India and was its former citizen. Subsequently, after migrating, she acquired Canadian citizenship. On her return to India, she bore a child, B. Now, B was eligible to be a Canadian citizen through descent. However, subsequently, B, a Canadian citizen, could not under the first-generation limit rule, pass on citizenship to her child, let's name him C, if C was also born outside Canada. As a result of the first-generation limit to citizenship by descent for individuals born abroad, most Canadian citizens who are citizens by descent cannot pass on citizenship to their child born or adopted outside Canada. The current first-generation limit to citizenship no longer reflects how Canadian families live today here at home and around the world and the values that define our country, states Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada in its release. The proposed amendment comes in the wake of a court ruling last year, which held the first-generation limit to be unconstitutional. TOI, in its edition of January 23, 2024, had reported that the Canadian government would not appeal against this order. While this legislation was also introduced by Mark Miller, former immigration minister, last March, it could not be passed, resulting in its reintroduction. The proposed Bill, C-3, would automatically give Canadian citizenship to any person who would be a citizen today were it not for the first-generation limit or certain outdated provisions of previous citizenship legislation. It would also establish a new framework for citizenship by descent going forward that would allow for access to citizenship beyond the first generation based on a Canadian parent's substantial connection to Canada, demonstrated by at least 1,095 cumulative days, 3 years, of physical presence in Canada prior to their child's birth or adoption. Speaking to TOI, Ken Nicolain, managing director of an immigration services firm, said, "While Bill C-3 certainly addresses and rectifies a fault, or faults in the current Citizenship Act which certainly is warranted and just, it may face challenges given current public opinion towards immigration." He cautions that the bill could take away a volume of the spots meant for temporary foreign workers, which are vital for infrastructure and housing projects. IRCC sums up by stating that, if the bill passes both houses of Parliament and receives royal assent, we will work as quickly as possible to bring these changes into effect. Canada is prioritizing those already contributing on its soil. If you're planning your PR path, stay alert, these changes could shape your future. And with new citizenship rules on the horizon, the immigration landscape is transforming fast. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.